With 2 months to go until Election Day, we continue our series, 3 Meals we call it. That's where we hit the road and we talk with voters over breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can learn a lot with people when you break a meal with them. This time, we went to Florida. The former swing state has trended more conservative in recent years, we all know that, going twice to former President Donald Trump. But this year, the Kamala Harris campaign has very high hopes because of a ballot measure that would put abortion rights in the state constitution. Caitlin Huey-Burns went for an eating tour to see what voters in Florida are thinking about these days.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Our trip to Florida began in Miami, home to the beaches, the birds, and the barrios, like Little Havana, where we stopped for lunch at Versailles for a taste of Cuba. This iconic restaurant is a must-stop for politicians courting votes. And we found this group of longtime friends catching up on life and politics.
If I weren't sitting here, you'd be talking about all this.
If you get too rough, then we stop.
Okay. Does it ever reach that point?
Oh, yeah.
With him especially, yeah.
Cuban immigrant Emilio Alvarez says he voted for Trump in 2016 before supporting Biden and now Harris.
Donald Trump has called Kamala Harris a communist.
That makes me laugh. You can be a liberal, but that's something different to be a communist.
But at another table, Jose Fernandez, who's also from Cuba, sees it differently, which is why he's supporting Trump.
Lo que pasó en Cuba está pasando aquí.
What happened in Cuba is happening here, he said. Even though people don't believe it, I do, because I lived it. The Cuban-American vote helped Trump win Florida, and he's leading here again in the polls. But this November, the real battleground here is over a ballot measure that would enshrine abortion rights into the state's constitution. And currently, a 6-week ban is in place. Nelson Perdomo isn't sure who he'll vote for, but on this issue, he takes his cues from his wife. It's a moral question, she said, but it's also a physical one. So yes, I agree that women should be able to choose. And after a quick break for some Cuban coffee,
This is my 3rd coffee of the day.
we grabbed a guava pastry and hit the road.
So we're driving north to Port St. Lucie. It's in a county that voted twice for Barack Obama and then flipped around and supported Donald Trump in the past 2 presidential elections.
We made our way up the coast to Mexican restaurant Casa Amigos in Port St. Lucie, where the shrimp was sizzling and tacos reigned supreme. At the bar, we met Jim Bassett, who says he'll likely vote for Trump.
2008, I voted for Barack Obama. 2020 was really tough. I did vote for Trump.
Do you belong to a party or?
I'm registered Republican, but to be honest, I'm more independent than probably anybody.
Bassett and his wife Jenny met in Colombia, her home country, and for them, immigration is top of mind.
If we allowed people to immigrate to this country legally in an expeditious, timely way, I think it would prevent a lot of the border crossings. These people risk their lives to come here.
At a booth nearby, we found friends Claudia and Valentina catching up over drinks.
We're constantly living day to day, paycheck to paycheck, having to work multiple jobs just to be able to get through.
And forget trying to start a family. if we're like in today's economy, honestly, we can't.
On that note, I asked how they were thinking about the abortion issue in Florida.
I believe women should choose that they could do whatever they want.
Faith-wise, I'm a Christian. I don't think abortion is okay. I personally wouldn't do it, but I don't think it should be taken from someone that wants to do it.
Do you mind if I ask who you voted for in the last election?
I voted for Biden.
Okay.
Yeah, I voted for Trump in the last one.
Okay.
Oh, you did? I did.
There's something new and you're still friends.
Yeah,
Look
But
at
I
that.
didn't know much when I did vote. I think my mindset has changed in the past few years. That's why I don't know where I'm at now.
With bellies full, we packed up for the night to get some rest before breakfast.
So Florida's a state that's been trending more and more red. But we're heading up to Orlando. It's in Orange County, and that's a place that's been reliably blue for the past several presidential elections.
We arrived at 903 Mills Market, nestled in an Orlando neighborhood.
Hi, good morning.
And found the house blend and Hot Topics on tap.
The possibility that Kamala Harris become president keeps me up at night. It worries me sick.
Casey has supported Trump since 2016, but like many voters we heard from, for him, the issue of abortion is nuanced.
I'm a Catholic. I paid for an abortion once. So does that mean I believe in it? No. I think the states should have the decision. And if somebody wants abortion bad enough, they can certainly get to a state that allows them.
Ready?
Outside, we found Rachel and her son.
Yay!
Starting their day off with something special, ice cream for breakfast.
You're a mom, I'm a mom. I know we stay up all night about lots of different things.
Yes.
But when it comes to this election, is there anything that in particular keeps you up at night?
Sometimes women's health care really does keep me up at night. And of course the climate change keeps me up at night because for them, that's the world they're going to inherit.
But this election season, there is something that all Floridians can get behind.
Maybe just stop with the election text messages.
I think that is a universal, unifying message.
Yeah.
And that abortion ballot measure in Florida would require 60% of the vote to pass, which is pretty high and means a lot of Republicans would have to support it. And as you saw from some of our conversations, some of them might. But what I really took away from this trip is that voters have the capacity to think about a lot of different issues at the same time. And just because you're in a red state or a blue state, it's a lot more complex than you might think. Nate?
Yeah.
Well done, Kate.
That's a great piece, Gayle.
Yeah, it really was. She's spot on when it comes to voters.
Yeah.
I mean, your mind is so compartmentalized when you're trying to figure out what you want this country to look like as it's tailored to you and your family.
The strangest place in the universe is other people's heads. I don't know what's going on in there. I can't make sense of it, but...
But we do have the ability to think about many different things at the same time and come up with a decision. I love the guy that said, I'm probably more independent than most people realize.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are feeling
I love our
they
three
do.
meals.
I do
I love
too.
it.
It's one of our favorite
Yeah.
series.